When should I change accountants? In essence, immediately that you feel that the relationship's broken down irretrievably. There could be a number of reasons why you want to change accountants, as we've covered in the How Easy Is It to Change Accountants video. These could be things like, for example, you don't believe that the practice is going in the right direction that you're taking your business, and therefore you've got worries and doubts about the business. The practice that you're currently using, they're not as technically advanced as you are, and therefore they're a little bit out of date and not a great fit with you anymore. It could be that the practice has now been sold and there's no loyalty from your part, or that a member of staff, the accountant perhaps that you used to work with, has now left and moved on somewhere else, and you don't really want to start from scratch, getting to know somebody there when you had niggling doubts anyway and you were unhappy for a bit of time, so it's perhaps time to change. It's a little bit like, a new bank manager comes on the scene. There's no continuity anyway, so there's no reason really for you to stay. Another reason might be that your business may have outgrown your current accountant. You may have started as a new business startup with an accountant who perhaps was a sole trader, and now they just don't offer the services and the level of expertise that you would like. You may have been let down in terms of service. Now this happens a lot more than you care to imagine. When you phone up, you can't get anybody and they don't return your calls. That's also really, really frequent. You don't get much advice. They're not proactive. This is something I hear a lot. Or you may have had a fine because they've just got too many clients, they don't care, and they can't service them properly. And that happens an enormous amount of the time. Whatever the reason is, once you've made that decision, then it's time to change at that point. So, what should you do first? Well, think about the service that you really want from your new accountants. Then do your research, both on and offline. These days, an accountant doesn't usually have to be local, unless you really want to be able to just drop by for a coffee and meet them whenever. Meetings can be done using software technology like GoToMeetings or Zoom or Skype and webcams, or just even over the phone. Saves you time and much more efficient. And by doing a Google search in your local area, it may pull up a number of accountants so you can draw up a shortlist and either ask around, ask friends or colleagues for their ideas and recommendations, or just go and meet them and see what you think. If you want to get going quickly, then maybe somebody stands out to you online. They're a bit different. You ring them up, they're really good. You go in and see them and you want to get going, and that's equally fine. You can obviously ask your friends and colleagues for recommendations, but just a word of warning, be careful, because not everybody's business is the same. So, just because a particular accountancy practice works well for them, for one person, doesn't mean it's going to work well for you, because you just don't know what you don't know. If you've always been with a practice, let's say for 20 years, and they don't know whether they're getting good service or not, great service or awful service, it's just normal to them, which is why you've got to be careful when you rely on recommendations. You can find more on the mistakes that people make when choosing accountants in my guide in the Learning Centre, where I talk about what to look out for. The biggest piece of advice, though, I would give anyone that's looking to make a change is you must meet the new accountant. Check them out. Get to know them and like and trust them. Make sure they're credible, qualified, etc. But most importantly, and I can't say this strongly enough, make sure they're growth-focused and commercially savvy accountants. You'd be amazed the number that aren't. So when should you change accountants? Well, As I've already said, there's no real hard or fast rule, but usually the moment the relationship's broken down is a good idea. Some business owners want to sort out their current financial year with their current accountant, and although this isn't really necessary, unless they're partway through doing the year-end accounts, that is, most people see out their current year because they've paid a fixed monthly fee, and they want to continue to pay a couple extra months to receive those accounts. But in truth, you don't have to. You can move partway through the year. Clearly though, if you've just been fined and you've lost trust and faith in your accountant, then it's probably a really smart move to go straight away. Sometimes you may decide, actually, that your current accountant is performing fine for producing those annual accounts, and actually what you need is to engage a more commercially savvy, focused growth accountant as well. In the past, people have turned to management or business consultants or a coach or mentor for this service. But these days, there are, as I've said, some really good, commercially savvy growth accountants who will really help you to move your business on. So, you may benefit from appointing one of them, as well as building a relationship with them, reviewing your monthly or your quarterly management accounting packs, and getting clarity on your numbers. Then, when you're ready, you can move your annual accounts across as well, if you want to. So hopefully that's given you some really good ideas and strategies for moving.